Now folks, we have a very disturbing new development. Most of you will already know that a body has been fished out of Lake Victoria inside a body bag and with 2 bullet wounds to the chest. Now this is very disturbing because you'll remember that there were all kinds of reports coming in from Kisumu after the election results were announced, and everybody wrote them off as propaganda. Okay? And now it is beginning to emerge that there was some truth, if not a lot of truth, in all these reports that came out. Now maybe somebody would say, so what if bodies were fished out? Maybe somebody fell in there, maybe somebody was murdered by somebody else. Okay, I hear you. But bear this in mind. All the bodies found so far were inside body bags. Body bags very similar to the body bags which caused controversy when they were delivered to Kisumu just shortly before the election. What? Now let us assume that these people are not innocent. Let's just assume that they're all criminals. Okay? All hardened criminals who are disturbing the peace, blah blah blah. Maybe they're robbing shops, they're robbing maybe people at gunpoint. Let's assume all that is true. Yeah? Murdering them in cold blood is bad enough. It's against our constitution. However, when you dump them, you put them inside, you stuff them inside body bags and you dump them into the lake, gosh, what are you saying? What are you telling Kenyans? Now it gets worse because we now have reports that what was happening is that there was a helicopter, a police helicopter, which was parked somewhere in Kisumu, and the work of that police helicopter, according to eyewitnesses, was that it was carrying bodies and dumping them inside Lake Victoria. Now we must assume that this whole exercise was premeditated, which sends a chill through my spine and should send a chill through the spine of any Kenyan, whatever side of the political divide you belong. I mean, let's get serious. What is happening in our country? Okay? Now, incidentally, older Kenyans will know that these were the same tactics practiced by a person called Idi Amin Dada, president of Uganda, dictator president of Uganda, who was responsible for so many deaths of innocent Ugandans. Ugandans who were suspected, merely suspected, to be friendly to the former president of Obote, were picked up and murdered in cold blood. This was what was happening in Uganda. Are you telling me that the same thing is now happening in Kenya? Yeah? Because this is all happening in Kisumu, which, as you all know, is the bedrock, is the stronghold of the opposition. Gosh. Now there's some interesting aside here, or some interesting research related to this. Now normally, if you drop, according to experts, if you drop a body inside a lake, contrary to what most people believe, that's the end of it. You will never see the body again. Okay? Because according to experts, what tends to happen, especially if the person is already dead, water will enter his lungs. Yeah, it'll make the body heavy, and the person will drown. I mean, will go down to the bottom of the lake, and that will be the end of it. Okay? We are told by experts, even in other parts of the country, of the world, yeah, most notably in the US, that bodies dumped in lakes are never ever found, hardly ever found. Yeah, in some freak cases, you know, very very unique cases, these bodies are found. But on Lake Victoria so far, apart from this body with 2 bullet wounds through the chest which was found, there are 4 other bodies which have been found according to eyewitnesses. The police of course continue to strongly deny this, the same way they deny that no live bullets were used to deal with protesters, the same way they deny responsibility for the deaths we have seen so far as a result of the election. So what went wrong? Actually, it was the body bags. I think somebody forgot that when you put bodies inside body bags, it changes a few things, okay? And the likelihood of them being washed ashore increases. Now, of course, all Kenyans of goodwill, I mean, this, one cannot help but ask, how many more dead bodies are hidden inside Lake Victoria? How many more? Yeah? And it gets worse. According again to eyewitnesses who are coming out right now, some of whom the governor of Kisumu interviewed personally, Professor Nyang'yo, there was at least one mass grave dug and bodies were being buried there. And the people who had been hired to dig these graves had already been told to expand the grave, but they vanished when the public got an inkling of what was going on. So the people were scared that they were going to be lynched by the public, and they took off and they did not expand on this grave. Gosh. Now we already know a toddler was clobbered to death inside their house in Kisumu. I've already showed you a video of police breaking into house or attempting to break into house on this channel. Yes, all these things the police have denied. Okay, and now I think the picture which is beginning to come out is a picture that I would not like to even think about. I would not like to think about it. Yeah, will somebody please wake me up, because probably this is a very, very bad dream I'm having. This cannot be happening in Kenya. It cannot. How cheap has human life become in Kenya? That it is okay to kill so many people. Let's even leave the number out of it. It is okay even to kill one person, just one person, for somebody to be able to be elected into office for 5 short years. How cheap has the lives of Kenyans become? Now I have a funny feeling that this issue will go absolutely nowhere, because first of all, we are expecting some of the perpetrators of this crime to do the investigation, yeah, or at least to expecting their colleagues to do the investigations into this matter, into this very serious matter. So what would you expect to happen? This is really terrible. This is really bad. Yeah, humanity cannot be that cheap. I mean, a precious human life cannot be that cheap. And if there's anybody listening to this recording sitting somewhere comfortably in an apartment in the US and thinking it is okay, it's only a few people who died, then I don't know. Well, you'll all remember the opposition told us that over 100 people died. The government denied this. Okay, the opposition told us that the people who were being killed were not being taken to mortuaries. Remember that they were being put in bags and disposed of at a place they did not know. That's what the opposition told us. And then now, after the elections, we see this. Naturally, nothing would have ever happened. Nobody would have discovered what, outside Kisumu, of course, would have discovered what was going on had these bodies not been fished out by the police, because this is evidence. Yeah, remember what I told you about the mafia? Nobody, no evidence. Well, now their bodies, that's evidence. Yeah, and it changes everything. It seems that, clearly, God in heaven said no. And these bodies somehow floated. And these bodies somehow found by police who did not have the whatever to hide the bodies and pretend that all was well. Oh boy. Oh boy. God help Kenya. It seems, or not it seems, clearly we're in a bigger problem than anybody ever thought. Until next time, this is Chris Kumakucha.